They say revenge is a dish best served cold, but for Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, Revenge is a four-part docuseries on Netflix. For over 2 decades, the hip-hop world has watched 50 Cent troll, poke, and prod at one of the most powerful men in music history, Sean Diddy Combs. What started as subtle jabs in songs like hip-hop eventually turned into a full-scale digital assault on Instagram. But now the games are over. The memes have been replaced by a masterpiece of investigative journalism. In a recent explosive interview, 50 Cent and director Alex Stapleton sat down to discuss their new project, Sean Combs, The Reckoning. This isn't just another documentary about a celebrity downfall. This is a surgical deconstruction of a 30-year empire built on power, influence, and if the allegations are true, absolute terror. Today, we're breaking down every shocking detail from that interview, including the secret footage Diddy never wanted you to see, his bizarre behavior behind closed doors, and why 50 Cent claims he's the only man in the industry brave enough to tell this story. One of the first things that stands out in this project is 50 Cent's role as an executive producer. 50 isn't just putting his name on this for a paycheck, he's been working on this for months. In the interview, he explains his philosophy using a legendary comparison, the Quincy Jones era. 50's approach to television is simple: find the best talent, put them in a room, and let them cook. He found Alex Stapleton, a director with the artistic integrity to handle a story this sensitive, and gave her the resources to dig deep. But why now? 50 Cent has been the most vocal critic of Diddy for years. When asked if this was just a continuation of their public feud, 50 was blunt. He didn't deny the friction, but he framed it differently. He wants to make hit television, yes, but more importantly, he wants to preserve the culture. He argued that if he didn't speak up, the silence of the hip-hop community would be interpreted as an endorsement of Diddy's alleged behavior. 50 Cent is positioning himself as the whistleblower-in-chief of the rap game. The most jaw-dropping revelation from the interview involves exclusive footage obtained by the production team. This footage captures Diddy in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September. We're talking about a man who knows the walls are closing in. We see him debating strategy with his lawyers, his voice filled with a desperate, frantic energy. He tells them, "Y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing." This is Diddy without the glitz, without the love persona. This is a mogul in a freefall. But the scene that is haunting the internet involves Diddy in Harlem. He's out in the streets, greeting fans, playing the role of the local hero. He's hugging people, taking pictures, the ultimate PR move. But the moment he gets back into the safety of his car, the mask slips. He looks at his team and says, "I feel dirty, I need to wash." He immediately calls for hand sanitizer. Think about the irony. This is a man who built a brand on being for the people, yet behind their backs, he views their touch as something that needs to be scrubbed off. As 50 Cent noted in the interview, this was a rare moment where Diddy, the master of narrative control, forgot the camera was recording. It exposes a level of elitism and disdain that contradicts everything the public thought they knew about him. It shows us that for Diddy, the Love era was perhaps the biggest performance of his life. Director Alex Stapleton brings up a fascinating point during the discussion. Diddy was a reality star. From making the band to his own documentaries, he has lived his life in front of a lens for 30 years. This created a dangerous sense of security. Diddy was so used to having a camera crew follow him that he began to believe he could edit reality itself. He lived by the mantra, everything is about controlling your narrative. He believed that even if he did something questionable on camera, he would have the luxury of the edit. He could cut out the bad parts and leave in the parts that made him look like a visionary. But in those final days leading to his indictment, he was so preoccupied with the incoming lawsuits that he lost his grip on that control. The footage shows a man reaching out to people for help, reaching out to the same community he allegedly exploited, only to find that the phone wasn't being picked up anymore. The documentary doesn't just focus on the gossip, it centers on the victims. Although Cassie wasn't interviewed directly, her presence looms large over the entire series. 50 Cent and Alex Stapleton make a point to remind the audience of one crucial detail. Cassie was only 18 or 19 years old when she entered Diddy's ecosystem. This is where the commentary gets heavy. They discuss the conditioning that happens in these high-power environments when a young WAM and is brought into a world of private jets, limitless money, and global fame by a man twice her age. The power dynamic is skewed from day one. The documentary explores how Diddy used similar techniques on other women, specifically mentioning those from the Making the Band era. It wasn't just one relationship, it was a system. One of the most poignant moments in the interview is when Alex Stapleton talks about the public's reaction. She points out that people gave so much grace and empathy to Diddy's daughters during the trial, who are 18 and 19. Yet those same people often forget that Cassie was the exact same age when her ordeal began. The series asks a tough question. What does it say about us as a society when we can sympathize with the children of the accused, but we struggle to offer that same grace to the victims who were just as young? The docuseries also breaks new ground by featuring two jurors from the trial who are speaking for the first time. This is huge. They discuss how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Diddy guilty of prostitution offenses but clearing him of racketeering and sex trafficking. These jurors provide a window into the courtroom that the media couldn't reach. According to Alex, the jurors felt they did the right thing based on the evidence, but the documentary poses a deeper question. In a trial with this much media noise, who gets the benefit of the doubt? It seems that despite the raids in Miami, LA, and New York, Diddy still held a level of influence that protected him from the most severe charges. 50 Cent notes that people were willing to talk to him and his team because they knew 50 wasn't afraid. Mainstream media outlets were often met with silence, but 50's reputation as someone who doesn't mind taking on the responsibility of the truth opened doors that were previously locked. A recurring theme in the media has been whether this trial is an indictment of hip-hop culture itself. 50 Cent's stance? Absolutely not. He argues that blaming the culture for the actions of one man is a lazy narrative. However, he acknowledges that the mind your business or don't snitch mentality within the community allowed certain behaviors to go unchecked for too long. 50 Cent is adamant that his involvement in this documentary is about protecting the culture. By shining a light on the allegations, he's saying that this behavior is not what hip-hop stands for. He and Alex wanted to ensure that the culture isn't diminished by Diddy's actions. They want to show that Diddy contributed to the music and the business, but those contributions don't grant him a get-out-of-jail-free card for his personal conduct. As the interview wraps up, 50 Cent drops one last bombshell of a prediction. When asked if the jury got it right and what Diddy's future looks like, 50 didn't hold back. He said, he'll be home in 2 years, he'll be fine. Whether this is 50's cynical view of the justice system or a commentary on Diddy's ability to survive anything, it's a shocking statement. 50 Cent believes Diddy will watch this documentary and call it the best one he's seen because deep down, Diddy knows the truth. He knows what's on those tapes. He knows what happened in those hotel rooms. And he knows that for the first time in 30 years, he isn't the one holding the remote. So there you have it, Sean Combs. The Reckoning isn't just a film, it's a cultural shift. It's 50 Cent finally finishing the fight he started years ago. But the real question is, will it change anything? Does the dirty footage change your perspective on the mogul? And do you agree with 50 Cent that Diddy will be back on the streets in just 2 years? This story is far from over. There are layers of nuance, years of archives, and voices that are only just beginning to be heard. If you want to stay updated on every new reveal, every leaked clip, and every update in the reckoning of Diddy, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Is this justice or is it just the ultimate 50 Cent troll? We'll see you in the next one.